Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Now for today's video, I am going to give you a how-to guide on picking your favorite Morphe brushes. I'm going to give you an inside look at all of my personal favorite Morphe brushes to maybe help you decide which ones you want to buy. So if you're interested in knowing what Morphe brushes to purchase, then just keep watching. Alright, so I'm going to warn you that most of these Morphe brushes that I'm going to feature in today's video are pretty dirty because of the fact that I use them every single day. These are my favorite brushes. They are my go-to brushes. The majority of the brushes that I use on a daily basis are Morphe brushes. So without further ado, here we go. My first favorite brush is the Morphe G0. Now as you can see, it is a giant powder brush. I use this to pack on pressed powder or to use loose powder. I usually use this in the outer parts of my face where I don't bake. So not underneath my eyes or down my nose, but I usually use it in these bigger areas of my face. So the Morphe G0. My next favorite face brush from Morphe is the Morphe B5. Now this is a stippling brush. I pretty much use this to wipe away the bake that I do underneath my contour, and I also use it after I wipe away that bake to then meld the colors of my contour, my bronzer, and my blush together. It gives it that nice airbrush finish and it helps complete your look. So the Morphe B5. Another personal favorite of mine is the Morphe E4. Now this is from their Elite collection, which is a higher quality of brush, and I promise that this one is definitely worth your money. This is the E4. As you can see, it's at an angle. I use this for my blush. I use it every day. It's that perfect consistency that no matter if your blush is really pigmented or if it's not as pigmented, this can either add color or help take away color. And it just gives you that perfect application every time. So definitely recommend the Morphe E4 for all your blush needs. Alright, so my next face brush favorite is the Morphe M501. This is an oldie but a goodie, and it's a perfect tapered highlighting brush. You can see here that it is the perfect size to hit you right there on the top of those cheekbones and give you that perfect application. Not too harsh and also not too soft so that you can still see the color. The Morphe M501. Alright, so my favorite bronzing brush of all time has got to be the Morphe M527. Now you can see, although mine is a little dirty, that this is a different color of bristle. That's because this is going to be hair. It's not going to be a synthetic brush. This is going to be goat hair, actually. It helps diffuse the color a little bit better. The only drawback I would say to this brush is that it does shed, which is really frustrating. So make sure that you're not in your nice clothes when you are applying your makeup if you're using this brush, because you're sure to get some hairs all over your body. Okay, so my next Morphe brush favorite is another face brush, and it's the Morphe G2. I use this when I'm applying my under eye concealer. I basically call this a beauty blender on a stick. It is perfect for dabbing out that under eye concealer and making you look perfectly flawless. So once again, the Morphe G2. My next brush favorite is the Morphe M310. As you can see, this is a fan brush. This is the alternate brush that I use from the M510 to apply my highlight. This gives a more diffused look if you like a little bit of a lighter highlight. I would say that I use this more on the daily basis, and if I have a special occasion, I use the M510, which gives you a little bit of a stronger highlight. But for my everyday highlight, I use the Morphe M310, which is the fan brush. Okay, my last favorite face brush is going to be the Morphe E47. I'm going to hold this one up close because it is such an interesting shape. Now this one has a couple of different uses for me personally. I use it to contour the outsides of my nose. I don't contour my nose on the daily basis because I am lucky enough to have a pretty slender nose naturally, but this is also really good for another random application, is if you're going to try to do some sort of like blown out diffused eye look and you want to keep the edges underneath clean, is I will apply some loose powder right underneath where I'm going to try and make that eye look really sharp. And it's basically like an eraser. It's kind of like how I highlight underneath my contour with powder. I use this under the eyeshadow powder, and once I'm done with my eyeshadow look, I wipe it away and it's perfectly sharp. So this is perfect to apply that in a straight line right underneath your eyeshadow and also to contour your nose. Once again, that's the Morphe E47 brush. Okay, so moving on to eye brushes. Without a doubt, my favorite Morphe eye brush of all time is the Morphe M433. As you can see, I'm kind of a super fan. I have 4 of them. I'm obsessed with them. I think when I originally purchased them, I bought 1, maybe 2, and then a few months later I was like, dude, I need more of these in my arsenal, so I ordered 2 more, and now I have 4 of them. So I use these every single day. As you can see, they are well loved. These are the perfect crease brush. They blend the color, they diffuse it perfectly. It's the perfect shape to fit nicely in that crease. So definitely, if you're going to get any of the brushes out of this today, get the M433 for all your eyeshadow looks. My next favorite eyeshadow brush is going to be the Morphe M504. Now this one is a little bit bigger than the last one. This one I usually use to apply my first color if I'm layering on my eyeshadow looks, because it diffuses the color perfectly. It gives you the lightest application that you can get from an eyeshadow brush and helps to diffuse that color and make it pretty light. So definitely check out the Morphe M504. Another brush that I love is the Morphe E13. I also have a couple of these so I don't have to wash it as much. Now the E13 is perfect for packing on eyeshadow on the lid. It is long, but it's also flatter and it's dense. So I love this to pack on any color that I need. It's perfect for anything that I need to use all over my lid. If I'm not going for the E13, I'm grabbing the B77. It's very similar to the E13. It's just a little bit shorter of bristles. They're not quite as long, but it is flat and it is dense. It's also perfect for packing on eyeshadow brushes. It's basically, for me, the luck of the draw. Whichever one my hand seems to snatch first is the one that I use. But this is another perfect eyeshadow brush for packing on color onto your lid. Another crease brush favorite is going to be the Morphe E17. Now this one is going to be a little bit more of a defined brush. I use this more for when I want to define the outer edge of my crease, or I want to get a more defined line and not such a diffused and blown out look. I will reach for the Morphe E17 for all of that. Another fun brush that I use that kind of serves one random purpose is going to be the Morphe E43. I will use this when I want that really defined eyebrow, and I will place a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand. I will rub this brush into it, dab off the extra, and I will carve out those eyebrows on the tops and the bottoms to give them a more sharp and precise look if I want to look absolutely flawless and picture perfect. And I usually use this brush to do that, which is the E43. Alright, we're getting close to the end of my favorite Morphe brushes. The next one is going to be the Morphe M514. Now, like the M504, I pretty much use this on the daily basis, but this is the 514. It is a longer brush. It is more tapered. I use this to get really precise into the crease. It's rather skinny, so it's perfect for those precise crease jobs. It's also really good if you're trying to do a cut crease and need to be really precise. The M504 is perfect for that, so check it out. Another little eye brush that I pretty much use on the daily basis is going to be the B16. It's kind of hard to see, but it is a tiny little flat brush. I use this when I am going to do a little bit of color underneath my brow bone, and I also use this in my inner corner to add that brightening effect. The B16 is the perfect size and shape for all of those needs, and I pretty much use it every single day. Alright, we've made it to the end of my Morphe brush favorites. The last one I'm going to mention is another kind of random one. It's the Morphe B71. I'm also going to hold this up to the camera so that you can see it. Let me have it focus on it. It is going to be an eyelash separator. I actually bought this because a YouTuber that I follow had mentioned it. Now, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I have a real issue with my lashes clumping together, and for me personally, it's easier for me to apply false lashes, but this tool has been an absolute lifesaver. What I do is I apply a coat of mascara, I stick this through my lashes, and it separates them perfectly so they don't clump together. I want to say this brush is maybe $3 to $5 at the most. It's very inexpensive, and it has been an absolute lifesaver on days that I don't want to wear false lashes. So if you also have that same problem, check out the B71. It is an awesome eye tool. Alright, and that is it for all of my Morphe brush favorites. I hope that you maybe learned something today. Maybe you found a few favorites that you need to throw in the cart on your way out of the Morphe site. So if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments section down below. Please make sure to like this video and give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. Until I see you next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye! Weird. My little sister's in here watching me right now. Shout out!
What up?
And making you lips. We got a stray hair over here. No, what the heck?
Nailed it.
You see that? I don't even know if you can see that. That. is or precise. Oh, you scared